What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera go back and forth. When bantamweight champion Sugar Sean O'Malley defeated Aljamain Sterling, he opened the door to a rematch with longtime rival Chito Vera. Since the win, despite his desire to remain active, O'Malley's next fight has yet to be confirmed. With Merab Dvalishvili and Henry Cejudo expected to fight one another, many believe that a bout between O'Malley and Vera is inevitable. Despite that, O'Malley has also stated his intentions to cross over and compete in a boxing match. During a recent back and forth on social media, Vera took aim at the champ, writing, "This talking about boxing? Defend that belt, McGregor wannabe." O'Malley then responded, once again creating interest surrounding a rematch between he and Vera, writing, "LOLs, I ain't trying to box. It's too easy. I want to fight your dumbass." The latest rumors regarding O'Malley's next fight have him stepping into the octagon early in the new year to defend his belt. However, so far, nothing has been finalized. With both he and Vera eager to compete against one another, it seems like it could be just a matter of time before a bout is made official. Next up, let's take a look at Leon Edwards will KO Colby Covington at UFC 296. Heading into UFC 296, the MMA community has remained divided on who they think wins the UFC welterweight title in December when Leon Edwards and Colby Covington step into the octagon. In his last octagon appearance, Leon Edwards showed improved takedown defense as he picked up a big win over Kamaru Usman. On the flip side, however, many fans feel as though Colby Covington's relentless pace will be hard for the champ to overcome. During a recent interview with Inside Fighting, former title challenger Gilbert Burns gave his prediction for the fight, revealing that he believes Edwards may knock Covington out.
I got Leon Edwards. I think he's going to be able to defend all the takedowns, and I think his strike is way better than Colby, and I think he's going to stay the champ.
So how does that fight end? Do you think he gets a head kick, a knockout?
Maybe by knockout. I think Leon is that good, very underrated, but I think Leon is very, very good, and he's going to win the fight.
Burns, of course, is working to return to the octagon after suffering a shoulder injury in his short-notice clash against Belal Muhammad. With the new year on the horizon, the longtime UFC vet will look to once again pursue his dreams of capturing UFC gold. Next up, let's take a look at UFC fighters respond after shocking image revealed. Israeli MMA fighter Haim Ghazali, who is best known for his brief stint with Bellator MMA from 2016 to 2018, recently posted a shocking image online showing that he had written the names of several notable Muslim UFC fighters on artillery ammunition. In a message posted to social media that was captioned, "This from me to rats," Ghazali wrote the names of Khabib Nurmagomedov, Belal Muhammad, Islam Makhachev, and Khamzat Chimaev. The photo caught the attention of UFC bantamweight Farid Basharat, who responded to the image by writing, "These fighters have nothing to do with Hamas. They're not even all from the same country. The only thing they have in common is being Muslims. It shows how the Israeli people feel about Islam and Muslims, Palestinian or not." Belal Muhammad responded to the photo with a much shorter message that simply read, "Pathetic human being." Muhammad, of course, notably carried the Palestinian flag to the octagon prior to the UFC's flag ban, which was recently reinstated following Dana White's comments condemning the ban. Next, let's take a look at UFC fight updates. Heading into Saturday's UFC Fight Night Sao Paulo card, the UFC has been forced to scramble to book a short-notice fight between Elvis Brenner and Kainan Kushevsky after Esteban Ribovics was forced out of the fight. The new bout will see Brenner look to build on a 2-fight win streak inside the octagon, while Kushevsky looks to make his successful UFC debut after earning a win on Dana White's Contender Series. In addition, the UFC Vegas 82 card on November 18th will now see Lucas Alexander step in to fight Jeka Saragit at the UFC Apex after Jesse Butler was forced out of his fight with Saragit. Alexander will be looking to pick up his second straight win after a scheduled bout with David Onama fell through for UFC Sao Paulo, while Saragit will be looking to bounce back from a February loss to Anshul Jubli. Last but certainly not least, in the way of fight updates, we have a newly announced clash added to UFC 297 on January 20th. According to reports, Johan Lainus will fight Sam Patterson on the card in the welterweight contest. Lainus will be looking to bounce back from a loss to Mike Mallet back in February, while Patterson will be looking to avenge a loss in his UFC debut back in March. With the new year right around the corner, expect more matchups to be announced for 2024 in the coming weeks. Next, let's take a look at popular UFC fighters get their contracts leaked. A number of high-profile UFC stars had their contracts and payouts leaked as part of the Lee vs. Zuffa suit. With the certification of a class action lawsuit against the UFC, numerous court documents have been made public, with Bloody Elbow working diligently to identify which payouts in the documents belong to which fighters. From Ronda Rousey to Conor McGregor, many of the figures provided are downright shocking. While estimates over the years have indicated that the Irish star was making in excess of $20 million a fight, that doesn't appear to be the case. In the case of Conor McGregor, the former champ reportedly made $20 million for 9 UFC bouts, which spanned from his debut against Marcus Brimage to his rematch with Nate Diaz. McGregor earned incrementally more money as he became a bigger star, reportedly making $6.8 million to fight Eddie Alvarez after previously earning $3.2 million to fight Chad Mendes years prior. The payouts were also revealed for his opponents, with Nate Diaz making $2.8 million for the pair's first fight and $4.3 million for the rematch. Jake Paul was quick to respond in a deleted post, writing, "This is hilarious and sad at the same time." In the case of Ronda Rousey, the former champ made a reported $13 million for 7 UFC fights, which would have spanned from her fight with Liz Carmouche, where she earned a reported $574,720, all the way to her Holly Holm loss, where Rousey earned around $4.5 million. When she returned to the octagon, Rousey then made a reported $4.8 million for her loss to Amanda Nunes. In the case of Brock Lesnar, his $8 million in earnings had previously been uncovered in the Mark Hunt lawsuit. However, former WWE star CM Punk's pay for his UFC debut has now also come to light. According to documents, Punk made just over $1 million for his UFC 203 clash with Mickey Gall. With things just getting going in regards to the class action lawsuit, expect more details to continue to emerge as we move closer to a trial. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at Tyson Fury vs. Francis Ngannou pay-per-view numbers leaked. Francis Ngannou's collision with Tyson Fury saw the Predator earn widespread praise for his performance in the ring. After being accused of fumbling the bag when he left the UFC, the bout gave Ngannou the chance to not only prove his abilities in the ring, but laugh all the way to the bank. According to Wrestling Observer Newsletter's Dave Meltzer, however, the event performed poorly on pay-per-view, despite the hype it generated online. On Wrestling Observer Radio, he spoke about what he's hearing. "I will have the exact numbers tomorrow, but they were terrible. Way below an AEW pay-per-view, possibly $10K for TV orders. I'll have the streaming tomorrow. It was nothing close to Canelo or Diaz-Paul buys." In the era of streaming, it's no secret that it's increasingly difficult for promotions to capture viewers through traditional means. Fortunately for the two fighters, both reportedly received hefty payouts prior to any pay-per-view bonuses that were given out. Despite the event reportedly not doing well on pay-per-view, Saudi Arabia is still expected to host a Tyson Fury vs. Alexander Usyk fight when the time comes. Next, let's take a look at Darren Till's next fight leaked. Since parting ways with the UFC, fans have continued to wonder when former title challenger Darren Till would compete in combat sports again. After posting on social media that he was going through his closet and selling old clothes and shoes, reports from Red Fury MMA indicated that a bout between Till and 18-3 MMA veteran Magomed Ismailov was in the works. The report from Red Fury MMA indicates that the bout is currently in the advanced negotiation stages, with the account writing in Russian on Instagram. According to our information, Magomed Ismailov against Darren Till is being developed at one of the tournaments in Russia. The sides are at an advanced stage of negotiations. This information was confirmed to us by a friend of Magomed Ismailov. Ismailov has been competing in combat sports as a professional since 2011, most frequently competing in M1 and Absolute Championship Akhmat. Of course, if Mike Perry has his way, he and Till will compete in a boxing match instead of Till accepting the rumored fight with Ismailov. With Perry eager to get his revenge on Till for comments the gorilla made about his wife, and Till eager to compete in boxing in the wake of Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou's fight, a boxing match between the two UFC vets would surely draw in a number of viewers. Dana White responded to the Islam Makhachev controversy about him being pound for pound #1 in the rankings. Here's what he had to say on the Triggered podcast.
Who do you think's the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now?
The best fighter in the world and the best fighter ever is Jon Jones. Jon Jones is the best fighter ever. You know, I know this will make a lot of people crazy, but when you think about who really is the best fighter in the world, period, not boxing, not whatever, who is the best? You put two guys in a room, you lock the doors, and who walks out? It's Jon Jones every time. I think Jon Jones is probably the greatest combat sports athlete of all time.
Top comments. Sad thing is the UFC could easily pay fighters fairly and still be raking in money. Fumble the bag implies a bag of money. How did Francis fumble by making as much or more in one fight as in his entire UFC career? Chael bumped his head really hard. He talks way too much. Chael may have been wrong, but Ariel didn't do anything for Francis, but he kept saying "we" during the argument, like he did this with his help. Even though he only wanted Francis to get the Fury fight because it would make Dana look stupid, and he showed his true colors when he made his post about Dana losing out because of Francis getting the fight. And if people can't see that, then they're just blind. I'm happy for Francis, but Ariel didn't even try to advise him to retire his manager, Markel. He fired him even after he fought with the UFC and got Francis into the ring with Fury in the first place, and the deal finally got done, taking longer than it should have, making people think he fumbled the bag because he finally rehired Markel Martin, who had been fighting for him in the trenches from the beginning. Chael just can't admit he's wrong. Anger management problems? I hope the fighters win the lawsuit. Make sure to leave a comment and you might get featured in our next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss any MMA news. Check out our video from yesterday if you missed it. See you tomorrow.